Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to NSR Tutorials, AI automations, so AI-powered automations. So today we're going to be doing something a little more different. Today we're going to learn how to build an AI automation workflow, still with Make.com. But this time we're going to use filters to separate and process customer feedback based on status. I'll guide you through setting up filters to trigger different ChatGPT completions, generating personalized Google Docs or Google document reports and sending them via Telegram. It's perfect for automating your feedback management with precision and ease. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you will be notified whenever we upload more content. Alright, let's get straight into it. So this is Make.com. So if you go to Make.com, you can sign up for a free account, and you'll be able to make as many automations as you want, though there's a limit to how many you can run at the same time because you're using a free account, besides other limits that the free account has. But yeah, so let's get straight into it. So like I said, we're going to be using filters today to basically filter data. Maybe just to explain the entire workflow, we're going to have a trigger of Google Sheets that will be watching arrows. Yeah, so as I was saying, I had created a form. So it's a survey basically for customer feedback. Now this form is going to be collecting the customer's name, the email, the product they purchase, and then the feedback from the product, their satisfaction score, and then the status, whether it's ready for review or they should escalate basing on the feedback, and then closed. So for our workflow, this is what we're going to be using in the filter. We're going to give two conditions, whether it's to escalate or ready for review. So the documents, the reports are going to be sent, like, let's say for example, to two Telegram groups. Let's say one will be for management, let's say, and the other one will be for follow-up or quality assurance. Yeah, we'll call it quality assurance, something like that. Yeah, so this is the form. It's linked to this Google Sheets. So this is where the trigger will be watching for new information that's passed. So every time new information is there, the trigger will be activated. So I'll fill the form with a bunch of entries, and then I'll run the trigger. But I'll first set up the modules in the workflow, and then we'll hit the run icon. Yeah. So yeah, this is just the window where you create the form from. So yeah, let's start with our trigger. So most workflows in Make.com are started with a trigger. The trigger sets the workflow in motion. So we're going to set up a Google Sheets Watch New Rows module or trigger. Set up a connection. need to link it to the specific spreadsheet where the customer feedback information is being saved, the responses are being saved. So once you set up the connection with Google, so these are obviously being saved to my Google Drive, so I'll leave that as that. And then we choose a file. I can click this, it will load all the spreadsheet files that are in my Google Drive, all the folders as well. It's called Survey Says. So you can see here, this is the spreadsheet name, Survey Says. And that's the file. The sheet name is Form Responses 1. That's right here. Does the table contain headers? Yes, it does. With the headers A0 to 1. I'll set the limit to 7. So each time the scenario runs, it will process 7 results at a go in each cycle. And I can save this. Choose where to start. I'll say all and save that. So our trigger is set up and ready. Now, because we want to filter in our completions from the ChatGPT module, or what the summary will be, we're going to be filtering these two condition states, whether it's for escalate or ready for review. So what we need to do, or the next module we need to add, is actually, so if I come to tools, hitting tools, I'm looking for a router. There's what we call a router. Okay, I can just click here, and then yeah, so I click the gear icon, and then it will bring up these other options. So the first thing we need to do is to add a router, because we're creating 2 branches, because these are 2 conditions that we're filtering out. So when I add a router, that means when I click this, you can see now it has created 2 flows. Yeah. Now I need to filter all the information that's going to be received from the trigger, and we're going to set up the condition. So how do you add a filter? You click this icon here, the gear icon, from the link chain, and then choose set up a filter. I can give it a name, I'll call it dual flow, and then set the condition. So like I said, from the forms, this is it's called status. Yeah. And if you check the sheets here where the results will be submitted, we have a column labeled status. So that's what the condition. So the condition is status. So we can map that there. And then what is it equal to for this? So we're only doing for the 2, not the 3. So there's ready for review. Just type that here. And then save that. So that filter is done. And then I can add another one here. I'll call it the same. It's still the status as well. Now for this one, it's called escalate. So the condition is status, and then it should be equal to escalate. So these 2 filters are set up. So that means each time the trigger is run and then we receive some bundles of data, what is going to pass through this is if it has, if that let's say that submission response of the person has ready for review, it will pass here. If it's for escalate, it will take this route. Yeah. So now we can set up our ChatGPT modules to complete the responses and summarize, give us an AI summary. So we select the ChatGPT module, create a completion. I can close this for now. Set up the same here. Close that for now. And then I'll go to the first one again. The connection, my connection is already set up. So it asks for an API key. You can find them here. And every completion requires some amount of money. So you have to add some money to your account, OpenAI account, so that you can use some credits. It's not a month pay on a monthly basis, it's pay as you go. So you can put any amount starting from like $10 and above, and then every time your completions or your modules, or let's say if you like you're doing it in using it in like an agent. Let's say if you're coding and you're using the API key, then still it will use that credit. But so it's not a monthly, like I said, you just put in some amount starting from like $5 or $10 and above. Then every time the agent or module is called, it will deduct a few dollars at a go. So I'll save this. You can watch our previous videos to see how to create a key and add credit to your account. The method is to create a completion. I've set up the model, so there are quite a number of models here. I'll just choose to use the latest system. And then I'll prompt it in the add message, set the role to user, and then add the prompt here in the text content field. I wrote down some prompts here. I'm going to modify a little bit just to give us or make our results better. So for the part where it says feedback, I can remove that and then map this, because this is where the feedback text is coming from. So I need to map that exactly like that. And then I can expand this prompt just to beef up the completion. See, add the customer. I don't have to type it, I can just see. Let's say email. And there. Yeah. Guess that's beefed. New report summary. And then the mass completion tokens, So yeah, so this is now where the money goes, the one in your account. So just to make sure it doesn't use a lot, so I still have some money in my account, I'll reduce that to 500. I can save that. And then now for the escalate route, again same process, set up a connection. Choose a model. I can reduce this to 500. Wait for that to load. Set up the role to user. And now then this prompt has to be different, right? So yeah. And I'll beef this up, include customer name, email. So this maybe will just be basically for the quality assurance team to be able to follow up on where exactly they are, following up, I should say. New report, summary. I can save this. Now we've basically taken care of the critical part of the workflow, which was filtering the data and then prompting each module with the exact, should I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Prompting the module with the exact formula it needs to process what they're filtering, what this is filtering. So now we can add a Google Docs module to create a document. The Google Docs module is basically going to just comprise what the ChatGPT is generating. Set up a connection as well. Name, we can just use some of our modules here in map. I'll use custom name. So this, the first one is review. Here, it's a review. I'll call it review report. Content, we use the ChatGPT module. We'll expand choices, expand message, and then content. So it's going to save it to my drive, my Google Drive. I can choose a folder or just leave that there, but in case I have a folder in the drive where I want this to go, I have a folder called reports. Save that, do the same here, Google Docs, create a document, name, escalation report, content. It's the same choices, message, content. I'll save this in the same folder. Reports. Save. So currently the trigger a router creating two routes, two filters, two separate conditions, one for a review, another one for an escalation report, two different or two separate ChatGPT modules with two separate prompts, and then Google Docs to create the file, should I say. Now we need to be able to download those files so that we can be able to send them to the Telegram groups. So I have to add another Google Docs module and then look for the download document. For this now, this part, the document ID I'll choose to map, so I'll toggle that on, and when I click here, I'll select this document ID. So the document ID will be able to, to pull the right document from the drive. So we're getting the ID from this, what this creates. And then the format I want the document to be downloaded in, I'll choose PDF and save. Do the same here. Download. Choose to map. Select document ID. PDF and save. Now I'll save this as well. Okay. Now we need to set up a Telegram bot that will be sending this I will be sending these documents to the company's groups. So we're going to create two groups just for fun, just to show you. Let's say we have a management team. Let's create that for now, and then I'll call this quality assurance. So the quality assurance team is one going to be handling the escalation reports, basically. You can leave adding members bit for later. So we have two groups, management team and then quality assurance team. So let's create our bot now. This is how you create a bot. In previous videos I showed the entire process, but you could search for bot further on Telegram. It has a blue check mark. You start the bot and then it will guide you on how to create Telegram bots from there. So this is the command that's used to create new bots, /new bot, and then I just follow the prompts it sends. I'll call it CO bot. I'll call it CO bot again. Okay. audio report. Wow, so people have been active, yeah. Let me see what name can I use. I'll just call it quality assurance bot. Wow. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to need this token to access the bot. On this link, this is where we'll be finding the bot, but this token is what we use to call the bot in our workflow, right? Where we've been on make.com. So it's like the API key. So even like in programming, let's say in Python, this is how you access the bot. So I'll first click here to start the bot. Yeah. And then copy this. Now I can add the bot to each group. Add. Use the other group here. Interesting. It should be here as well. Hold on. Unless it's saying I can't add it to more than one group. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Now we need to give the bot access to the messages, so you do that by making it an admin. So come to manage administrators, add administrator, and yeah, these are by default, but you know, you could just, if you want to, if you want to give it a custom title, sort of thing. Yeah, so I'll save this. Just to make sure, yeah, it does have access. Do the same for this side. Save. Save. It has access. Now I can start setting up the bots here on both flows. So we go to Telegram bot. Now since we're sending a file, we're not just going to choose what? send a text message or reply, no, because it won't, this action just sends a text message, it doesn't attach files, so we need to look for the action that includes a file. So yeah, this sends a document or image, and then we have to add a connection. I call this dual flow, and then the token that we copied earlier, save. Now we need to add the chat ID. So this now is also a critical part, because we don't want it to be sending, let's say, summary reports to the quality assurance team, yet we want the quality assurance team to only receive escalation reports. So that's where a critical part comes in. So the chat ID, we can get the chat ID by just sending a text message here, by calling the bot basically. So I'll call the bot and then say, which group is this? Hello, co-management team. Then now with that same token that I copied earlier, I can use a call or CURL link with the get updates, and then change this with the token. So this is the links. This is the link. Sorry. You can use Postman as well if you want to, but I'll just use my browser. So add this link, yeah, bot, and then add the token here, then /, then get updates. So if I run that, you can see the message that I sent. You can see it's here, right? Hello, co-management team. Now I need the chat ID, so I can check these results, look for where chat is, and then get the ID. Oh, it's right here, this. So I'll copy that, paste that there, and then I can manufacture some sort of caption and say, hello management team, we have a new report to follow up. And I could just maybe include the customer's name as well. So from, yeah. And then by default, yeah, it maps correctly. Yeah, Google Docs downloaded document, this. It's sent by data. And then I'll save that. It shouldn't have is red. Let's save again. Yeah, okay. Do the same here. I have the connection previously. Now I need the chat ID for the quality assurance group. So sorry, I'll come here, call it this side. Refresh this. So for quality assurance, this is the ID. And then the caption, hello quality assurance team, we have a new escalation report from to follow up on and then I'll save that. Save here as well. So this is our workflow. I believe it's complete now. The trigger watches for new entries in the spreadsheet. Whatever data it receives passes through this router. The router is necessary because we're setting up a filter to process two types of data. So whether they're ready for review or it's an escalation. So these are the two routes we've set up. Two different prompts for two different modules, AI modules. Google Docs, this creates the document. The document creation content is what this generates. Download the document, and then what's downloaded is sent to these two groups of ours. Yeah. Now I can start filling in the form and few sample entries. Let me see here. Excuse me. What's the satisfaction score for? So ready for review. Submit. And now submit the others as well. changing this to escalate so that we could have 2 cases of both. So I submit that. So if I check the sheets, we have here the data. Now back to make.com. So if I click run once, it should be able to do exactly what our desired goal is. So the notifications are coming in already. Yeah, so that's done. This is where you check the bundle output from. Bundle 4, so yeah, for bundles processed. So let's see if it filtered. Excellent. Now we can just check the group, see if they went exactly where they did. So if we check, just to confirm our sheet, 2 people had the condition of escalate, but Simon Peter and Daniel Walusaga. So we wanted those to go to the quality assurance team, and yeah, correctly so they did. I'll just open this to see what ChatGPT wrote. Customer names, email, issue count, to reported incident, issue count. Let me see where it's getting that from. No. So it thought the satisfaction score was the issue count. Yeah, so I guess I had to improve my prompt a bit, but that's, I guess you can see that it's doing mostly what we told it to do. Simon, but it failed after only 1 week of usage. This is the second issue reported by the customer. Okay, so it's using the satisfaction score as an issue count, which is not what we wanted it to do, but that can be improved on by how you prompt it. So I guess my English needs some improvement. This is from when we told it to, like if I open the prompt here, when we told it to emphasize issues, urgency, and then suggest next steps. So it improvised with its thinking capacity and did all this right here. So the quality assurance team now knows what to do or how to follow up with Mr. Simon Peter with his issue. Yeah. I guess we've reached the end of our show, our tutorial. I hope you learned something. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, to like this video. We're here every Friday. There are other videos on the channel that you can check out. We're located at Champ Towers, Kampala Road, Level 2, Nehemiah STEM Research. Yeah, have a blessed day.